The biggest thing that I've noticed is kind of strange, and the biggest thing that I've noticed really is it grew hair. New follicles forming, and my receding hairline started to come back, and I was seeing small growth, and my wife kind of looked through my hair and noticed a bunch of other hair follicles that weren't there before that were growing, and so that's the primary thing.
Hey, Steve, thanks so much for coming and spending some time with me today.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing your story. So can you start off by telling us a little bit about how you were feeling prior to coming to QHS?
Well, I've had a series of issues during the course of my life in relationship to incidents or accidents, car accidents and things like that I've been in. And so I've got a lot of what you might call football injuries. I don't know. But I also had a little bout about 20 years ago with pancreatic cancer that I handled holistically, and I'm a survivor from that. But the majority of it outside of that has really been more in the direction of I would probably say accidents that have occurred. I've had each of my shoulders surgery. I've had both of my knees in surgery, and I've got an implant in my leg that is a titanium rod that covers my entire femur bone.
Oh, wow.
An accident that where my leg was busted in 8 pieces, so that wasn't good.
Sounds like God has a big plan for you on the other side of all this.
Well, that's awful, sweetie. You thank you so very much, and I'll agree with that.
Cool. How in the world did you heal yourself from pancreatic cancer? That is remarkable.
Well, there was a friend that had been healed from leukemia and her daughter from ovarian cancer, and they had gone to see a specialist that obviously was someone that had originally he was an apprentice of someone that had originally gone through a process that was developed in Germany, and that process was they had identified all the electrical signals that your brain identifies with every single part of your body, and they created some kind of a computer program or whatever that takes those signals and identifies the brain waves that are going down to, say, your big toe, and your big toe sends a signal back and says, yeah, everything's okay down here. And based upon their description, your brain on a constant basis is sending messages electronically all over your entire body, seeing if everything is okay. And when it comes back the wrong frequency, they're able to identify that specific part of your body has a problem and that it needs fixing. And they experimented with thousands of different types of supplementals that are assisting in healing whatever those areas of the body are. So they identify first what the problem is, and then they give you a supplemental that identifies with that. And those supplementals, for the most part, are all liquid. And you just take those forms of liquid that assist in whatever that deficiency is for whatever that area of the body is on a daily basis. And it probably is a lot faster than it was 20 some years ago, but at that point in time, it would take an entire day, and they would literally do about 1,500 different tests with those electronics on your body. And typically they did it through your hand. By the end of the day, your hand was completely wore out, but they had been able to do that. And so I stayed on a special diet in those supplementaries for about 2 years. And so after I was I don't want to say diagnosed, because I refused to take the diagnostics at the hospital, because the moment that I did, they'd capture my body and tell me I couldn't leave or what have you. So they had done all the previous testing they had done. And when they asked me to go into the hospital to start, I said no. I contacted these other people and went through that for 2 years because pancreatic cancer has got less than a 5% chance, and so I didn't feel like going through chemotherapy and destroying my entire immunity system would be beneficial, because everything that I'd heard from everyone else, they may clear up the pancreas, but at the same time they'll destroy your immunity system, and then you die from a pneumonia or a cold or some other kind of thing that is simply solved because your immunity can't beat that.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. So you're an OG when it comes to frequency.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you came to QHS, and then when did you get your device?
I think it was probably about 6 or 8 months ago, maybe a little over 8 months.
Okay. And then how did it help you?
The biggest thing that I've noticed is kind of strange, and the biggest thing that I've noticed really is it grew hair.
You didn't have hair before?
No, I had hair before, but I could see new follicles forming, and my receding hairline started to come back, and I was seeing small growth, and my wife kind of looked through my hair and noticed a bunch of other hair follicles that weren't there before that were growing, and so that's the primary thing. And then I noticed a little bit of an energy kick, but not really anything specifically that I can say. I had a drastic pain here, and then it released that pain per se. More something that I was able to physically see than feel.
Okay. How about like your sleep or, any of those types of things? Did you notice like a peace feeling? Like that's what I'm hearing a lot of people, a sense of calmness, better sleep, things like that.
I really haven't noticed that, but I'm not someone that really has been a big sleeper anyway. I'm typically high energy, and I live on 3 or 4 hours a night anyway.
Wow.
I haven't really noticed that kind of a change. So not to say that can't happen, but I haven't physically noticed it.
Okay. And then, so what about your do-over? Pretty soon we get to go into the Q arc and have a healthy 30-year-old body.
I am tickled pink about that. That's for sure.
What are you going to do? What excites you the most?
Well, I'll probably continue a lot of what I'm doing right now. I'll just do it with a little bit more energy than I previously had. We travel a lot for me, predominantly for business, but oftentimes the business, I try to leave a day or two in there for pleasure while we're wherever we are, so that we can enjoy that aspect of having to travel.
Oh, fun. Anything else?
With the ailments that I have had, if the repair does what is proclaimed to do, I'll probably get back involved in a lot of physical activities that since the accident I've really not been able to do. I mean, once I've got one leg that's shorter than the other, because when they put it back together, they didn't do it completely right. It's about 2 centimeters shorter than the other side. So I really, all of the activities that I previously had that were, real strong in the area of physical activities kind of went away. So I was generally very active in playing sports and tennis and basketball and a lot of extreme sports that I was actively involved in the area of skiing and parasailing, diving, skydiving, just all kinds of activities that as I'm going to see different places, I would like the opportunity to enjoy what is about the place that I'm seeing, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, sure. Like, do you travel internationally or more domestically?
It's more internationally than domestically. I do a lot of consulting, and so I meet with various different government officials, and I worked with Miss Universe organization for a while in helping to scout out new countries to facilitate the pageant. And so I've met with many different government officials and congressmen and senators and ministers of tourism and things like that to try to work out details. And then also a lot of private organizations, whether they be potential sponsors or people that will actually take over the pageant, mostly, which are, like major hotels and things like that, because there's usually the majority of the program that works well for whatever the hosting country is typically a drastic increase in tourism and a very large body for, say, anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks that would be utilizing hotels, restaurants, and the likes.
Oh, fun. That sounds like a great trip or a great event. And your wife gets to go with you, so that sounds like a bonus.
In many occasions, yes, most of it is boring in that it's hotels and boardrooms. But then a part of the scouting with that, we would literally go, almost everywhere in the country. And so if that is to open up and my wife is able to get healed of her ailments, then that would be a real enjoyment, because traveling is a little bit difficult, especially in more rural terrains where you're beat to death in the back of a bus or van or something like that. And Costa Rica was one of the major places, and it was, you'd spend good 4, 6, 8 hours in a transport vehicle that was a road that was nothing but potholes.
Oh, wow.
So,
is she a member?
She is, and she's the driving force really behind everything that we're doing, both with our family and her family. She's the major connection point that's on every single call, and and watching and listening to every single video and all those kinds of things. And so I get most of my information through her, and then also through my mother, because they live, eat, and breathe QHS. So.
Aw, that's so sweet. Well, thank them for me, please.
No problem.
Awesome. So what would you like to say in closing?
Well, I'm extremely interested in, especially the whole house system, so that whenever I'm in the house, that everything will be going well. But more importantly, I would definitely like to have the opportunity to get the same energy and activity that I was able to have, when I was 30, because I have been always very, very active in every area of sports and physical kinds of things that age and a couple of car accidents have kind of taken away. So trying to get all my ligaments and my bones back together would definitely be exciting. And then taking the area of certain organs with difficulties that have been had. I have diabetes, which is something that I would really like to resolve that issue, because it results in problems with blood flow and the inability to properly get oxygen to all the areas of the body that need it. And so I'm looking forward to having my feet and my hands restored to a level that hopefully repairs or regenerates the nerve endings and so on and so forth that have been compromised as a result of that.
I've interviewed a couple people who have worn their device like inside of a sock, and they alternate it every night when they're sleeping, and their neuropathy has improved.
Wow, between feet.
Like they just alternate every night.
Left side, right side.
And even I've had people who've gotten off insulin because just carrying their device. So, while we're waiting, all that stuff is possible.
great. If we could, hopefully we can get the device back, and I could, I could alternate the device and do the same kind of things, because my feet are going numb where I can't feel what I used to be able to feel. And some of that is starting to happen in my left hand. So I'd really like to see a change in that area as well. So that all the sensitive parts of my body that you generally bring in, all the kind of things that would be necessary for high activity would be restored.
Yes, for sure. Awesome. All right, my darling. Well, thank you so much for coming and spending time with me today. Will you come back for part 2 post QARC?
Oh, absolutely. That'll be exciting to come back with some phenomenal reports of everything working right.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a happy day.
Yeah, sure will. So
Awesome.
we're looking forward to that, hopefully very soon.
Yes, for sure. All right, well, make it a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you so very much for the interview. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Steve. Take care.
God bless.
Okay. God bless. Bye for now.
Thank you for making this QHS project fly. This valorous admin team, thank you. The Key community welcomes you. Thank you for making your home QHS healthy and happy. Thank you for helping us place QH centers all around the world. Together, hand in hand, we make miracles happen. QuantumHealingSystems.org. Thank you.